Brandon. Is it Knable?
Knable.
Knable. It's Midwest. It's kind of different, man. So, welcome, Brandon, and explain to people who you are, man.
So I am 21 years old now. I used to struggle with depression for the longest time. Wanted to take my own life. More times than I could even count. Tried drugs, did a lot of crazy stuff that I shouldn't have, and and I was just going through a lot of just a lot of bad stuff for like a solid 4 or 5 years when I was younger. And to the point to where, like I said, I almost took my own life, and I almost even took my own mom's life. And, I knew that something had to change. Luckily, I was able to move out of that environment and went on a journey for a couple years. And quite frankly, I was able to pull myself out.
So was it, obviously, the people that have it, I have it, some of us have a catalyst to get it out. Mine was God. I don't know, I found my faith again to kind of, obviously, yeah, like I said, I still cuss and swear a little bit, but mine was a faith foundation to kind of get myself out of my depression and kind of deal with baby daddy issues. And I'm not saying baby daddy, like my own father. There's a catalyst that caused that spiral. So, or vice versa, the victory. What was your catalyst on as like victory to kind of drag you out of it, or at least make you more alert of it?
It was kind of crazy, man. And now that I think about it, so right before because this is gonna get really detailed, but people need to understand this to be able to understand how incredible the transformation was. But I literally, for those of you that can only hear it, you won't be able to quite see it, but the people that can see it, now just imagine you see me, you see my mom in the kitchen, right? And we're arguing to the point to where I'm literally can't take it anymore. I go to grab into the kitchen counter and I pull out this big knife, man. And I'm not being even dramatic or nothing, but and I told my mom straight up, I didn't do anything, but I just threatened, I just put it up. And I was like, if you keep talking right now or keep saying stuff, I swear to God, I'm either going to take my own life right now or I'm going to take yours, or I don't know what's going to happen. And, in that instant, it was kind of nuts because I calmed myself down, and kind of in that instant, I asked myself, okay, if I were to go through this, where would my life be in 5-10 years? And I told myself straight up, I would either be dead, I would be in jail because I would have committed murder at the time, or, I would have been homeless or all this crazy stuff. And so pretty much the 5-year path that I was looking at, 10 years, it was just it was the worst that anyone could even imagine, going from a regular kid to now being in jail, all this other crazy stuff. And I asked myself, is that the path I want to go down? And I told myself no. And in that instant, I knew something had to change. And so luckily, like I said, I was able to get out of that environment because I moved, with my father at the time. But quite frankly, if it wasn't for me kind of being honest with myself and kind of giving myself that 5-year window of what would really happen, I feel like I wouldn't even be talking to you today, because either I would have been in jail or I would have took my own life. So
yeah, that's mine was more drinking related, but it's people that have it understand it. Like me and you, we both been through some dark times, so we understand it and we kind of get it. But it's kind of, and I'm gonna do this as a listener on my end of it, my listeners and stuff. The people that don't get it, or the people that don't think they don't have it, I think depression or suicide or all that, I think everyone has an instance of it. Just a matter of when it occurs. And I don't know if it's just environmental or whatever, but at least mine, like yours, I think it was more environmental. Life is way better on the other side, man. way better on the other. And I'm going through your checklist here, man. You're down there. Oh, you're in Tucson?
Correct.
What is it like now? 100 degrees?
It's so hot you can't even imagine. I literally, before this podcast, man, I just chugged a whole almost 2-liter gallon of water, and I'm still thirsty. It's only 10 o'clock here, man, and I'm already sweating, so that tells you right there.
I went from like 90 degrees and I think it's like 80 here, but obviously down by you in Colorado, there's like no humidity, and you get up here and it's like freaking, it's like 80 degrees and feels like you're in an oven. So it's humidity sucks, man.
Yeah, it
But
does.
so obviously we went through trials and tribulations, or like you went through a trial and tribulation. I understand you created a system, or vice versa, you created a little booklet called HMPI. You want to explain to my listeners
Yes.
how that is?
Yeah. So what HMPI is habits, mindset, passion, and impact. And I know a lot of you may be wondering, well, why those specific words? Because quite frankly, about a week ago, I was thinking, and a lot of people have been asking me, hey, if you were to try to help these people and try to really, really try to make this something of your own and make the impact that you want, what's the process that you would take them through? And at the time, I couldn't even answer that, to be completely honest with you. But then I thought about what I went through and the steps that I had to take. And quite frankly, I had to do it in that exact order. Because, just like, for example, I was real depressed and, like I said, suicidal, all that stuff. And quite frankly, my habits were terrible. And I mean, I was eating crappy food. I still do. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But I'm just talking about like just the stuff that you do in your everyday life. People don't realize that could also contribute to, depression and not feeling worthy about yourself, stuff like that. And then, that's when you would move on to the mindset where, once you have your habits down, you need something to accompany that, because if you have your habits right, but you're still thinking that you're not worthless, no matter what you do, it's not going to work. And then, passion is very important as well, because, what are you passionate about? If you're trying to be happy, I truly believe that you have to find your passion, and you have to go for your passion, not just worry about the money and what can help you financially, but what makes you want to get up out of the morning and go tackle the day. And then impact kind of falls into that as well, where, what kind of impact do you want to leave on the world if you were to pass away? Like, what kind of legacy do you want to live? And by thinking about those four things and finding out what those four things are and working on those, I truly believe that anybody can come out of their worst struggles. So.
Yeah, and like I said, we threw some questions back and forth. It looks like you have a playbook designed for that. So where can my listeners go to it, or vice versa? What is that playbook look like for our listeners?
So what it looks like is I try to think about, okay, I know that a lot of self-help books are a lot of fluff, and it's just like pretty much a sales copy book where it's like trying to sell you something at the end. And quite frankly, with my playbook, I wanted to make it more like a step-by-step guide with like exercises and stuff as well. So it's more like a workbook and kind of a self-guide. So I believe there's like 7 to 8 actionable steps that you can actually take right now to drastically make you a little bit happier and to hopefully get you out of that. And where can you get it? You can actually go on my Facebook. It's completely free, and get that. So.
Yeah, and speaking of the Facebook side of it, where can people hit you up on social media, man?
So you could message me on Facebook. So at Brandon Knable. And then let's see. So my TikTok, the same thing. My first, my last name, Brandon Knable, and then what was the other link that I put? Trying to think, because I put Facebook, TikTok, and then I don't remember.
The old main thing that we're doing right now, brother. You gotta give people a link for your podcast.
Oh yeah, correct. Yeah, sorry, I just totally spaced it. But you can also go to Anchor. I'll also put that in my Facebook links as well. Later today, actually, after this, and you could go listen to my podcast. I have a podcast where I discuss, my personal struggles, just like where we are now, how to kind of overcome those if you're going through those, and just a lot of topics surrounding mental health. So definitely go check that out as well. So.
Yeah, and like I said, hey, we'll finish up with mine, and then we'll kind of flip-flop a Zoom call here. Obviously, we are recording this, and then, on your end of it, we can get some media set up for your side of it too. So thank you for coming on. Obviously, my pod is called C's Get Degrees, and it's about I'm an average. I don't want to use the term average. I'm turning into an extraordinary person right now, but I was that rebel in high school that understood that some things teachers taught weren't really the best things. So I always had a lot of C's on my report cards because I wanted to. I don't want to say buck the system, not with an F, with a B, and kind of go against the grain a little bit. So thank you, man. Welcome to C's Get Degrees. And like I said, I will return. We'll return in a little bit here and take a little break, get some food, and then come back on. So peace out, man. I will see you in a little bit.
Hey guys, this is Chad here from Podcast C's Get Degrees and our mini podcast sessions, Friday Fire. I appreciate you guys listening to both podcasts and let you know that both of these podcasts are sponsored by Beckett's of Oshkosh. For All American Diner and you're in the Oshkosh area, go visit Beckett's today. Enjoy yourself, have a great day, and see y'all next week.